Hey guys, and welcome to the Life and Leadership Under Construction podcast. I am Sonia Bennett, and it is sponsored by Albeca Organic Glow, which is not only a skincare brand, it's also a health and wellness brand where we focus on helping people heal from the inside out. Well, listen, guys, this is going to be so much fun. So before we get started, I want you to make sure that you hit that subscribe button down at the bottom and subscribe, and make sure you turn your notifications on because you definitely do not want to miss an episode. Life and Leadership Under Construction is going to discuss everything just like it says in life and leadership. As being an adult, it is hard adulting. And we need a place where we can go, where we can just relax, relate, release, and most importantly, heal and grow. And this is the place to be. So make sure you all subscribe today. All right, we're going to jump right into the first episode, and we're going to talk about being equally yoked or unequally yoked, shall I say, in a relationship. And that relationship can be either personal or professional. Before we jump right into the episode, I want to make sure that you all put the kids to bed, put your significant others to bed, or they can join you here on this podcast. But I want you to be able to be all the way in and fully attentive because it's going to be some great information. So put the kids to bed. This is your time, okay? All right. So we're going to talk about being equally yoked or unequally yoked in a relationship. And that could be either personal or professional. And there are three components that you have to look for in that relationship. So whether you're new to the dating scene and you're trying to find someone, or even if you've been in a relationship or a marriage for years, and sometimes you still don't know each other. So this is for you as well. But those three components are, you want to make sure you have the same spiritual beliefs. And sometimes having the same spiritual beliefs can be a little sticky, especially like in your career. But when you know, okay? So if you know it's not a good environment, don't invest all your time and energy into it, and you know what you need to do. Same thing in a relationship. But in a relationship, sometimes you could be a Christian and then you can meet someone that's a non-believer, and that's okay. As long as you all know how to communicate with each other, and as long as you all know what's going on and how to address each other, then that is fine. Just know that it might be some challenges along the way, but if you're willing to put in the work, then, do what you need to do. The second thing is goals and aspirations. Make sure that that person in that relationship have similar goals or aspirations. Same thing on a job. Look at those mission statements and vision statements. And if it aligns with where you want to go, then that's a good option. However, sadly, when you go into some of these jobs, they don't follow that mission and vision statement of the company. And once again, you know what you need to do. Don't invest any more time there. And the third one, last but not least, effective communication. You have to have effective communication in a relationship, and not just you be the one always talking. You have to know that you have another individual in that relationship that has feelings as well, and they have emotions as well. Feelings and emotions. So you have to make sure that you can be attentive to their needs as well as not only just your own. And sometimes, and I'm very guilty with this, you can't not only just communicate, you also have to be an active listener, and vice versa. And those nonverbal cues, that looking up into the ceiling, crossing your arms, looking off, it's very disrespectful. And it's just letting that person know that you really don't want to hear what they have to say. So when you enter into a relationship, make sure you enter into a relationship with no egos. Make sure you enter into a relationship knowing that both of you have the same common goals, and that's to build upon each other. Okay? Think about a house. You might find your dream home, but you go to a house and you see that house is not exactly your dream home, or it doesn't look like you want your dream home to look. However, that home has potential. That's the same thing in a relationship. We're not looking for perfection in a relationship or in someone. We're looking for potential in someone. So those long laundry lists of requirements that some people carry into trying to find someone, that's not good, because sometimes you find your mate when you go in knowing that that person has potential. They might not have all the qualities that you want them to have right now in the present. However, is it workable? That's the question that you ask yourself. Is this relationship workable? Does it have potential? Does it have potential to build and invest in? And that is the most important. So look for that potential in someone. And also think of your relationship. Think of relationships like an egg. An egg is very fragile. So if you drop an egg on the table, or don't drop it on the floor, because you definitely will destroy it. But when you drop it, it cracks because it's very fragile, right? Same thing in a relationship. If you let any negative things into your relationship that can weaken your system, weaken your unit, then it is fragile. And after time, it's going to be destroyed, So you have to have that good foundation there in the beginning so that you can weather any storm, you can fight any battle that come your way, because there will be challenges and there will be storms that come your way. But as long as you build that strong foundation, you can weather any storm that come your way. In a relationship, you're dealing with two individuals. So you have to be careful, because you're dealing with two totally different individuals. You're dealing with different personalities. You're dealing with different morals, values, ethics, upbringings, trauma. Some people bond, it's called trauma bonding. So that means that you met because you both have gone through a traumatic experience that you can both relate to. So you kind of bonded over that traumatic experience, whatever it is. Also, blending of families can be very difficult as well. So you're intertwining a lot into those relationships. And so you have to make sure that foundation is strong so that you can get through all of those challenges and come out on the other side of it. So just remember to know where you want to invest your time in, who do you want to build with, and who has potential to build with, first and foremost. Make sure that we get rid of those lists and not look for perfection in someone, because if you look for perfection in someone, you're definitely going to see all the flaws. That's the difference with red flags. Like, you have to make sure that you can see those red flags and acknowledge those red flags. Don't ignore those red flags, because they're not going to turn green. So when you see those red flags, just put them down in your little book, or make a mental note of those red flags, because those are indications that that person is just not for you. That relationship is not for you. It's not going to work. And so many times we find ourselves thinking that we can fix something that's unfixable. So when it's damaged, it's damaged. And as long as you stay in that relationship, you will become damaged goods. Meaning, for that next relationship, it's going to be hard for someone to actually meet you halfway, even halfway, because you're coming into that relationship with a lot of trauma from the previous relationship. That is not right, to come into a relationship with old trauma. So whatever you need to do it before you go into another relationship and hurt someone that had nothing to do with it. So whether if it's therapy, whatever you need to do to self-heal, that's what you need to do. Just go on your self-healing journey. Sometimes you have to just take a step back and know that, okay, ask yourself these questions. Why am I not finding anyone? Or if I find someone, why are we not working? And it might be a simple fix. It could be a simple fact that you just have to do some internal work first. And when you do that internal work, then you can see exactly where you stand, and see what areas you need to work on within yourself So be true to yourself and know that if it's something that you need to work on, then work on it so that you can enter into that other relationship without all of that trauma and that baggage. And so you can succeed, in your relationship, because there's a lot of people out there that's great. You have great careers, and trust me, we're going to talk about all of that. But you have great careers, you're doing awesome for yourself in life, but you're missing that one component, that one thing that will make your life complete. Because I don't care how hard you work, how hard you go, for your career, if you don't have happiness at the end of the day, none of that matters. So make sure that you can take some time out to find love, and that's okay. That's okay. But make sure whenever you're on that journey, make sure you find someone that knows exactly what they're getting into. So they need to know where you are currently and where you aspire to be. And they have to see if they can fit in that aspect as a supporter in any type of way. So if they can't fit into your life currently how it is, then it just might not work. And sometimes we have to take a look at our lives and see if we have enough time carved out for someone else, for someone to allow someone else to love us. And so that's the thing. But so, yeah, make sure just make sure whatever relationship you get in, make sure it's worth investing in. Make sure it's worth nurturing, and if you nurture a relationship, and if you all have those 3 components in mind, then that relationship will flourish. It has no other choice but to flourish. So y'all just hang in there, because this is going to be good. This is going to be amazing. But look for those 3 components in your relationship, okay? And you are sure to have you someone with potential. Remember, we're looking for potential and not perfection. So I have been married for going on 19 years, and I have been with my now husband for like 28 years. So it's my high school sweetheart. So that we've gone through the peaks and valleys. We've gone through the challenges in our relationship. But what I can say that what we both enter into the relationship with is having those 3 components. And so when you meet someone with those 3 components, you can get through anything. Let me tell you, you can get through anything. And if that person is not ready, if they're not ready to actually go through the process, then that's not the person for you. But like I said, just be upfront and honest. Let them know where you are and let them know where you aspire to be. And just let them know that there will be no shortcuts on what your goals and aspirations are. You're not going to take a shortcut. You're not going to take a back seat to it. You're just looking for a willing and able partner to be a supporter, and y'all can support each other and build on that relationship. Remember the 3 components: the same spiritual beliefs, the same goals and aspirations, and make sure you look for someone who's an effective communicator and also an active listener. Okay, guys, it has been so amazing. And remember to subscribe, because you definitely do not want to miss an episode of Life and Leadership Under Construction, sponsored by Albaco Organic Glow. You all have an amazing week. And before I leave, I want to leave you with a little something. I always say, you will hear this a lot: if you don't grow, let it go. And that's in your personal life and in your professional life. If you're not growing, you have to just walk away. You have to let it go, because time is your most valuable asset. And the longer you stay in something, like I said, you become damaged goods. Have an amazing rest of your week, and listen out for the next podcast. Thanks, guys. Remember to subscribe now. Please remember to subscribe and turn your notifications on, because it takes community. Okay, this is your place for you to come and for you to relax, relate, release, and heal and grow.